What's good? Welcome in. Praise Yah. So a lot of people have been picking up the MPC Live 3. It's got a ton of buttons on it, and with that, I assume an improved workflow. I haven't had my hands on it yet. I actually did something a little bit backwards and picked up an MPC Live, the original version. Now, the MPC Live is probably the MPC with the least amount of buttons on it. So I wanted to go over a few tips that you might have overlooked that can help with an improved workflow. Hey, real quick, if I can grab your attention before we get into the content and have you head into the description where there'll be a link to my sample pack store. This is a great way you can support the channel, get something in return. If you ever found any kind of value from what I do over here and you're an MPC user or an SP44 Mark II user, I specialize in packs for that. I also got some free stuff over there, so please do head over and feel free to download those. All right. So, like I said, the MPC Live is most likely the MPC with the least amount of buttons. But if you look at it, the touchscreen is one giant button, and there are some cool things you can do with it to help you navigate and get some shortcuts going. So the first one is probably the most obvious one, and that is the shortcut icons that you got at the left of the touchscreen, right? So I've got these set up where I also have had the MPC Live 2, and that gave you some added buttons where you have shortcuts to like the mixer. And so being that the Live is missing some of those shortcuts and some of those buttons, I went ahead and put some of the most used things that I use here on the left. And of course, if you go into menu, all of this is customizable. So you can move any of your favorite and most used windows over here to the left. All right, aside from that, every single one of these icons in the menu is actually customizable. You can move it around, right? You can move any of this stuff wherever you want it to go. So the next tip is that you can use your pads to navigate any of these menu icons. If you look at it, the icons within the menu here are also a 4x4 pad layout. So the pads correspond to the icons in the menu. So if I'm out here on the main screen, I can actually press menu and jump around to any of these windows easily. So what I do is I'd go in here and either memorize these as is, or what I've done is move some of my most used windows down towards the bottom. So I use the grid view a lot, the channel mixer, song mode, and sounds. So this way, these bottom pads now become buttons if I press and hold any of these. So if I easily want to get to the grid view, boom. If I easily want to get to my channel mixer, boom, there I am. Want to get to my sounds? There we go. Another thing I've considered is maybe putting some labels down here, putting some console tape, or even getting myself a skin customized with every pad having a different menu. Just a thought that I had, but you'll develop some muscle memory where some of that probably won't be necessary. You can just easily jump through and know what these pads are, holding your menu button here and pressing a corresponding pad. So the new Live 3 has track navigation, I believe, using the step sequencer buttons at the very top. But you can actually navigate tracks using the pads with the MPC. All right, so to navigate tracks using the MPC pads, instead of holding the menu button, I'm going to hold the main button. And when I hold that, this screen pops up, and then I can use the pads. I can see all my tracks are labeled here and they correspond to a different pad. Now I only use like up to 8 tracks. So my workflow is really simple, but say you're inside the channel mixer and you've got a project that has more than 16 tracks. Let's take a look at that. So if I were to go to advanced and let's do like 32 tracks. Just wait a second, let this create these tracks so I could show you another cool thing. If I press main, I'm now on drum track 35 because I created a bunch of tracks, but I can also use the pad banks to navigate between these groups of tracks for every 16. So if I want to jump back to track 1 where I got my chops on it, then I can easily do that. So if I'm in the channel mixer 2 as well, this is helpful because rather than, trying to slide across and get to your last track, or there's something deep over there past like track 16, 17, for example. If I want to do that, hold main and then just hit the pad bank. Let's say I want to go to track 26, bam, and then I'm on track 26 right here in the mixer. It improves the workflow and helps you get to that actual track a lot quicker if you have projects that are using a high track count. So yeah, there you go. Just a few little workflow navigation things to improve your experience with the MPC Live, the original version. Maybe you're in like a spot where you're like, oh, that Live 3 looks really nice. The workflow looks really smooth. Just in case you overlook these kind of things, man, and you want to hold off on picking up the next MPC. Hopefully these things are helpful for you. If it was, please share the video with someone, leave a comment, like the video. I'd appreciate that. And if you want to support the channel, there are ways of doing that in the description. There's a Zounds link too if you want to pick up an MPC Live 3, if you're going to do that anyways. They're on back order, so maybe secure one. You can kind of think it over for a while before it actually ships. If not, there's other ways of supporting the channel. There are sample packs in the description. But the best way is just, once again, just leave a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Peace. Y'all bless.